Welcome back to my Week at My Desk series where I turn on my camera every time I do some journaling, stationery, crafty stuff at my desk. I'm Emily and today is Tuesday the 22nd of October. I have this very lovely new thing to share with you today. This is a custom-made wood box that my dad and I made together while I was home visiting my parents for a week or so. And the most exciting part is that we custom made it and made all of the measurements so that it will perfectly fit my traveler's notebook passport inserts in here, which is so exciting because in my last video where I was at a week at my desk, I think it was that video, I had talked about how I wasn't really sure what I was going to do with my finished journals once I've start completing some of the inserts in here. And I didn't know where I was going to store them, but I knew that I wanted to have some kind of box. And that idea led me to talking to my dad about it. And both him and my mom are very, very creative, and I get my creativity from them. But my dad specifically is known for picking up new hobbies, and he recently got a laser cutting machine, which is how this whole thing started. So when I thought about that box idea, I thought, hey, maybe we could make a special box just for my traveler's notebook passport inserts where I could store the new ones and the completed ones. So this was a really fun project, and it's like this one-of-a-kind box that I'm so excited to have. We started by actually using some pre-created box files. There's a website, there's lots of websites where you can put in the dimensions that you want and it'll create a box for you. And what we did was we measured my TN and made sure that the dimensions were better. We sized it up, made sure that the depth was thicker and could hold a good number of inserts, and we put it all into the CAD program together. And then we started cutting it out with paper and then finally this MDF wood. So it is wood, and one of the cool things about it is that it sort of burns as you cut it out with the laser. So you get this really cool burnt edge to it, and the engraving, embossing, whatever you want to call this, looks like it was burnt into the wood, but it was actually like burnt off a layer of it to reveal the logo. So I love it so much, and it still kind of smells like burnt wood a little bit, which is a very nice smell to me. So it was a lot of fun to go through that process and make that with my dad. Other than this prized possession that I now own, I also wanted to update on my A5 journal. This is what I'm using for my morning pages, which is 3 spreads of journaling. So 1, 2, 3 every morning, or most mornings. And I've never filled up an A5 journal so much in my life. It's been about 3 weeks, and I have filled up pages all the way until page 110 right now. I just completed this one this morning, which is just wild. And something I added that I wasn't sure if I talked about actually when I first mentioned this journal is that I started giving myself a sticker for every day that I complete it. So I have these few little sticker sheets left over from when I bought them or got them from somewhere. Something fun to do, give myself a sticker when I complete the pages, like why not? And use up my supplies a bit more. Something I would like to do in the future, if I can figure it out, is I would love to actually have the numbers, so every time that I complete it, I use the sticker, like a sticker chart for kids. That's what I want, but like an adult version in my journal, so that I can actually keep track of how many times I've done the morning pages, or even like the days of the week. I don't know, something to like track, because otherwise I'd have to count the stickers to know how many times I did it. Good morning, everyone. I wanted to do my sticker of the day with you. I just completed my morning pages, so I give myself a little sticker at the front here, something fun to do. I am at page, I just completed I should have put the bookmark in there. So I just completed page 127. So I'm at, I think, page 128. And this is just past halfway through this journal in about a month or so, which is wild. I've never been through a journal this quickly. It's been a lot of fun. I also did another ink experiment in my TWSBI Diamond 580. You can see it's kind of like a purpley color. I had a bunch of Tono and Limbs Pavlovian dances still in there, and I really love the color, but I wasn't reaching for it as much and I wanted to switch it up. So I decided to mix it with a little bit of Horsehead Nebula from Colorverse. Can't see too well right now because it's overcast, but there is a shimmer in this, and it's quite a deep dark reddish pink. So I mixed those two together and it came out this sort of grayish purple color. You can see it right there. Horsehead Nebula and Pavlovian Dances, Tono and Limbs. So I cataloged it in here. Very on brand for me with all the colors that I tend to use in my inks. And speaking of pink and blue, I also have a very cool nail polish on today. You can see my hands are pretty warm right now and the tips are cold. So this is a thermal nail polish, and I have some cold water here because it's Emily's science experiment this morning. When I put my nails into cold water, they turn completely blue, and then when my body heat turns them back warm, they become pink again. This is so cool and so fun, especially when the weather is like it is right now, where it's pretty cool outside and warm inside, so they're changing back and forth constantly, and sometimes they can look kind of funny with some fingers being warm, some fingers being cold. I don't know if there's any thermal inks. I think that would be really fun to see if there's anything like that. And don't ask me how this works because I really don't know. But as someone who does a lot of things with their hands and is always having something in their hand, whether it's my phone or a pen or a journal or something like that, this is a very fun, extra special way that I like to add some interest to my life. Good morning, everyone. I have my Earl Grey tea here. Great way to start off the day. I just completed my 3 spreads of journaling. I am up to I'm up to page 135. So we'll put my sticker of the day. I've been really feeling these paper stickers. So put that there. This morning I wanted to talk a little bit about my note cards for the Artist's Way that I've been reading and doing morning pages for. I've also been underlining passages, and like I mentioned before, been writing notes and things like that. One of my previous videos, I believe I mentioned that. So I'm underlining and writing notes in the margins and circling things, which I usually never do, but it's been really fun to interact with. And something else I do is after I underline and write notes to myself, I'll go back to the previous week and reread it again. And anything that really still stands out to me, I will put on a little note card to keep. And this little basket that I have keeps all of my note cards in it. These are all the ones I haven't filled yet, so I have a long way to go. I went a little bit crazy because I really loved these and the concept of them. So I got 2 packs, and there's so many in each pack. These are the Foglietto 120 note card sets, and they have different colors in them, and they're fountain pen friendly. I think these are A7 size because they're not quite playing card size, just a little bit bigger. And so I have all these different little sections like creativity, painting, mental health, service design, and everything like that. So I have all of these filled and organized, and now I have a whole section on creativity that I just started, and all of these cards are going in there. The idea is to not just have cards and notes from this book and to keep adding to it from other sources as well, but right now this is my big source. So I'll usually underline a passage or two and name the card if it has a overarching theme. This one is about skepticism and how it's important that your own deeply held skepticism and secret doubts don't keep you from being creative or from taking action. So I'll write out the notes that I have, sometimes in my own words, sometimes based on what the book says, and then I'll write down the book and the page number on it. For some of the other ones that I've done, I think, yeah, this one I know are from actual YouTube videos, so I write down the name of the YouTube video and who it's by and say it's a YouTube video, so that if I want to go back to the original source material, I can. The thing with online media, of course, is that it's never fully permanent and someone could always take it down, so it's kind of nice to have my own notes and interact with it and use up these note cards. I picked yellow for obvious reasons for these ones. I don't know what I'll use next because I'm only 3 or so chapters in and I only have this many left. I think each color has 30. There's a few more in here, I think. So at first I was trying to keep colors kind of separate. Actually, at first, some of these, what are these? Oh yeah, these are from the book, The Myth of Normal. I was writing a ton of notes on that. I actually made my own note cards because I wasn't sure if I would like them or if I would use them. And so all of these are actual ones that I made myself. Because if you know me, I can never be chill about anything. So yeah, I wanted to try it out first to make it. So these ones are just from some regular cardstock. I printed some dot grid on it and started using them up. And then when I realized just how many of my own I was using, I was like, okay, I will take the splurge and buy from, oh, who is it from? I can't remember the shop name. It's a stationery store in Guelph, and I can picture the people who work there who are on their Instagram, and I can't think of the name. I will add it below if I think of it. So I highly recommend these cards. They're really amazing. I'm using pencil for these right now, but they're fountain pen friendly, so that always makes it more fun. And with the different colors, you can kind of mix up what inks you use. So that's something I've been doing. And then I have this huge binder clip. And what I do is I keep a stack of them sort of in a stack like this, and I keep them together. And then when I'm writing on it, I will move the binder clip to the bottom and write on the top. And then when I'm to the middle, I'll move it back up and write to the bottom. That way it keeps it all together. It's like a nice sturdy place to keep them all. They don't go flying everywhere. It's not like a deck of cards that just explodes. And when I'm done, I'll flip it over and put it at the back so that I know that it's full. And then the next one is ready to use. Keeps everything organized and together, which is always a plus. And then, yeah, I always have my pencil stuck in here. I need to sharpen this again, which is such an exciting thing. I love getting so much joy out of using the supplies that I have. I wanted to spend a little bit of time as well in one of these swap journals. This is Olivia's. I added this sticker and this one to the back. Every time one of us gets it, we add a sticker to the, oh, I added this one too, to the journal. So this one, there's a few interactive pages I want to fill and that I can show you. So at the very beginning, it has an entry log. I got this months ago. I really should have filled that in then, but put a little star next to my name. And then there was, oh yes, there's this one. current favorite food and currently watching. I'm not really watching anything. We just watched Pride and Prejudice 2008, if you know, you know. Current favorite food. Honestly, my current favorite right now is Jell-O. I love the little drawings. How do I draw Jell-O? I don't know. That's supposed to be a box of Jell-O. Oops. And then there's... It's so crazy we've been doing this for so long. Those entries were from 2022. Yes, this is the one I was looking for. I made this little pocket, and every time I get the journal back, I fill it with little pet tape samples to share. Gives them a couple options. I think this is the 10th anniversary one. I'm not sure. Then I have this one, which is super cute. This one is one of those washi tape ones, which I really like if I'm just doing one layer of decoration because it looks like it's printed right on the page. But I prefer pet tape usually because it's opaque and you can layer with it, whereas this washi paper, you'll see right through it. It can be a cool effect, but I usually don't want it to look like it's at half opacity. I want it to look like how it actually looks on the roll. So I usually add a few different options so that they can both have some when they get it. Okay, will this fit? I don't think so. No, too big. Sometimes the pet tapes are so ornate and they're so detailed that it can actually be difficult to cut out each little element without cutting through something else. Okay, here we go. So there's that. And then other pages. Collages about Bert, Olivia's cat, or one of them anyway. I think that's all of the interactive spreads for now. We really need to finish these. I have just a couple of spreads left. In another one of these clips, perhaps I will start working on the actual pages, but the interactive spreads are all done. Good morning, everyone. Wanted to chat about this journal again. I've been struggling a little bit with just the amount of journaling every day. And I think I've said this before in a previous video. Doing 3 full spreads of journaling also kind of sucks up my willingness and ability to journal otherwise. Like if you write for basically an hour, it takes me an hour to get through this. I have no willpower to journal or do anything else with writing. And that makes me sad because I want to be using my stationery and stuff, but I only have so much capacity for it before I want to do something else because I can't take all that time to do this. So because of that, originally I said 3 spreads, but I might change it to be just 3 pages just for the interim. And if I want to write more, I can, but I think I need a change of some kind to make it more doable for me. And 3 pages is still 3 pages. Of course, it's not the same as an 11 by 8.5 sheet of letter paper, but at least it's something. So then it would be 1, 2, and then 3. I'd have to figure out what to do on this page. Maybe this can be my collage pages or something like that, so that I have more to show for this journal or something. But that's something I'm toying around with and wanted to discuss with all of you, because it's okay to change things up and to realize things aren't working for you. If I'm avoiding doing it at all because it's going to take me an hour on top of everything else I want to do in the morning and getting ready for work and everything like that, then obviously doing something is better than nothing. And I think cutting it in half will make it a lot easier. And even just mentally, it feels like less of a burden. So I think I'll do that. And something else I've been thinking of is beading and how I can integrate that into journaling. I made these recently, these cute little beaded keychains. This one might go on my keys, I'm thinking, because it is like a loop that goes around my wrist. But this one, I made it a bit too long. I wasn't sure what I was going to use it for. I have a lot of these because I keep making them. But afterward, I kind of wish it wasn't so long, because it'd be kind of cool to tie it to a bookmark and have it be, like if I close this, imagine it's shorter, okay, but I tied it to a bookmark and then had like a little, maybe if it was like that long. The bookmarks are this long, so if I made like a cute little beaded bookmark, I think that could be cute. So something I'm thinking about, because my other hobbies tend to overlap and I like using this stuff. I already use things like that on some of my zipper pouches and things like that. Emma made this one for me. It's extremely cute, so I keep it on my desk so I can look at it all the time. I made one for myself that I put on a zipper pull here. This one already has a little zipper pull, so it seems like overkill, but I've been adding them to my little zipper pouches and things like that. But there's only so many zipper pouches that I have, sadly. So I thought that could be like a cute little charm or a way to use it. But I'll have to think about it more.